Look who is back in town. After a 2-year career with Nicholls State University, Christian Correa just finishing up his first summer with the Houston Astros and what turned out to be single-A ball after spending time in the GCL Appalachian League. You had tremendous success with Nicholls, but bring us into your world in the last few months, what being a part of the Astros organization has consisted of.
Well, it was great. I started off in the GCL, got moved up, like you said, to the Appalachian League, and our rookie ball team actually won the Appalachian League championship. And we barely got in, but we won it. It was a great experience. And then after that, I was able to move up to low A with the Quad Cities River Bandits, and it's been a great experience so far.
Guys like you are so popular within a minor league organization that's committed to winning. This isn't all about you and your stats and making sure you have a major league career. You want that. That's why you're playing minor league ball. But you're accustomed to winning. You won 66 games at Nicholls in 2 years. Where did you notice the interest they had in making sure chemistry, clubhouse leaders, all of that is part of even single-A ball?
Yeah, well, that's one thing that they preach on is they want you to develop as a player, but they also want you to develop while you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to go through, actually our organization, 7 out of the 9 teams made playoffs. For the minor league system.
There's a reason why the Astros have the top minor league system in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, 7 out of 9.
I'm looking at your roster. I'm looking at some of the coaches you have, and there's got to be some of these moments that you have where you go, oh yeah, this is Major League Baseball. I'm a part of it. Cesar Cedeno, he is one of 2 guys, if you look at early in his career, 20 home runs, 50 stolen bases. First couple years in the league. At that point, he was being called a young Lou Brock. That was your coach? That's who you were working with?
That was my hitting coach. Yeah, I think he helped me out a little bit, just a tad. It was amazing working with him. He's a great person, great personality to be around, and I loved it. He was a great coach for me.
A guy like that, he doesn't lose interest from around the country, from around the world. You have fans for life. How much of a known name were you noticing that Cesar still is when you're traveling? Are there people still trying to get autographs from him?
Yes, every game we went up. I knew there was a guy one game at home that came and was asking for an autograph. And afterwards, he's like, "Those young cats don't know who you are, right?" And they're like, "You're the Mike Trout. You were the Mike Trout of your era." And it was amazing. I didn't realize how big he was until I saw one of his baseball cards and I saw his stats, and I was like, oh my God.
Almost 200 career home runs, just under 1,000 RBIs in Cesar's career. There's no sport like baseball where the history of the game is still alive. Mm-hmm. And you must really feel that when you're sitting here with somebody who played 40 years ago, but whose talent still speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's a blessing to be able to get coached by somebody like that, and I really appreciate the opportunity that the Astros gave me.
When you were growing up in South Florida and you went and had 2 years of junior college experience in Florida before transferring to Nicholls, where did you see yourself 3, 4, 5 years down the road?
Well, I went to Chipola Junior College, and they're also well known for baseball. And I was always pretty good at baseball, and I always wanted to go to a big Division I school. And obviously, I came here to Nicholls. It's not the biggest school, but it was a mid-major school, and I thought the best experience I had was going to Chipola, learning from there, and then coming to Nicholls, learn from there, and now taking it into pro ball and just adapting and learning as I go.
You're working with Cesar to improve your hitting, and obviously it's something that is a big focus of yours, but a lot of guys come into the minors, into the majors, and they've got to worry about eliminating base runners and the defensive element of catching. You got that down. You really have shown a skill set and strength that led to teams not even daring to run on you this past senior season at Nicholls. Is it easier in some respects when they really aren't messing with you defensively and coaches are saying, hey, we trust you already and what you're able to do behind the plate?
Yeah, well, that's my favorite part. I love throwing guys out, but when guys don't steal on me, I usually just try to pick them off or something. I always try to get something done defensively. So, I mean, I enjoy it, and I've taken a lot of pride in my pitch calling because here at Nicholls, they taught us the pitch calling and everything, how it should go. But when I got to the system, they guided you, showed you, but it's on your own. It's you. Like, you're calling the game. The game's on you. They hit a home run, it's on you. to get an out, it's on you. Like it's the thing. Like people don't really realize that sometimes, but they have a lot of impact to do with the game.
You can't tell me that guys like Justin Holt and Darius Knight were constantly talking, telling me that they would have been able to run on you, right?
Yeah, they trust me. They did it. Even when Leo Vargas was here. My first year, we go back and forth, talk Spanish on the field, be like, I'm gonna get you next time. It was back. You could ask Coach Tip. Coach Tip knows. He watch. You could see we would do it, and it was that prepared me also.
When you're calling a game, how much of it is pitch by pitch, but how much of it is that balance of thinking ahead while staying in the moment?
Oh, for sure. You have to. The thing is, we get a bunch of scouting reports and everything. You obviously read the percentages and everything, but what you based off is basically the first at bat or something. But what I really take pride in is being able to call a good game, being on the same page, getting the rhythm of the game going. Because obviously nobody wants to be there for 5 hours, 6 hours. So like a 2.5 hour game or 3 hour game is what we usually go for. And I mean, I've learned a lot since going there with the Astros.
But you've got the pregame scouting report. You've got the information that you've tallied just by observing a game. How about the psychological side, where a guy goes through the first time through the order, and then you start to pick up on tendencies of how guys are handling themselves at the plate, and maybe what changes with some comments you'll make to them the second or third time through.
Exactly. Like you'll see a guy. You always have to think like 3 pitches ahead for a catcher. That's always how it is. And like you'll see a guy, he can't catch up to the fastball inside. You tell them, okay, go back in the diamond and be like, hey, next time around, we're going to stick with that pitch, and because you can't get to that pitch. And it just goes from there. Batter to batter, it's different. Every guy is different, so it was good schedule right there.
You find out in June that the Astros are going to bring you in, and you go through GCL and Appalachian League play. You're probably just focused on what it's like to be in the minors at that point and committed to a professional career. Take us back to the day you received that phone call, though, where there was uncertainty. There was a great unknown. That moment is something that you'll cherish and treasure for the rest of your life.
I didn't get drafted, but I did come in contact. The Astros were in contact with me always through the draft process and everything, and they actually called me the day of the draft and told me, hey, don't worry, we're going to work something out with you, and we're going to get it. And then they called me a week later, and I signed with them, and one of the best moments of my life.
It's a great year for Correa's in the Astros organization. Carlos is well on his way for maybe a Rookie of the Year award. I know you got Chris Bryant, and the NL's been crazy, but it's got to be kind of fitting to have the Christian Correa, Carlos Correa connection. What a year to be a part of the Astros organization.
Trust me, I get that all the time.
I know you do. It's not a bad thing,
It's not a bad thing. No, I get it all the time.
Next year, you're looking at possibly being in Panama for winter ball, and then spring training in March. What's kind of your gut feel right now about what the next few months could look like?
Well, I'll find out in a couple weeks, like first week of October. Hopefully, I'll find out what's going on. I got, I think, winter ball lined up in Panama, and then spring training in March.
Well, it's good to have you back in Thibodaux. First restaurant you eat at when you pull back into town.
Spars.
Didn't even hesitate. It was like your girlfriend's like, "Oh, I'm glad he's coming back to see me." No, coming back for Spars.
No, it's fine. Spars for sure.
Well, hey, best of luck. You know, it's one thing to experience success at the collegiate level and move on, but a lot of you guys are passing that torch where current colonels are watching you and saying, you know what, I can do this. I can win here. I can win in the Southland. I can sweep Lafayette for the first time since '96 like you guys did. I can beat LSU on the road, and then I can continue my dream.
You could do it. They could do it. I'm telling you. It's not that people make it more difficult than it is, but it's the same level. Everybody's Division I. You got to play baseball, so they'll do it.
This is Colonel's All Access, hanging out with Christian Correa today, and I'm Bryant Johnson.